Hello, welcome. I'm Beth Lynch, your host of Inner Lately, and I will be here every first and third Tuesday of the month, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, to do exactly what the name of the show says, bring you in. For those of you who don't know, I am a medium, intuitive consultant, and I am founder of Inner Light Teachings. And as a medium, I am one who mediates between the spiritual realm and the physical realm. And I have learned so much from the spirit world over the last 18 years doing this on purpose that I am literally bursting to share the inspiration, the understandings of who we are as a spiritual and a human being. And that's pretty much going to cover life, death, and everything in between. So we have a lot of stuff that we can cover on the show. Every show there is going to be guests. Well, most shows will be guests on, but what I really want to do right now is just take a deep breath, because I think the most important thing is to bring ourselves to that center and to that place and where we want to go in. So let's just, if you can, safely close your eyes. Just close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in. And as you're doing this, you're just going to allow your breath to flow and relax into the sound and the movement, tuning into your own body as you breathe and move. You're going in. Take another nice deep breath. And just let it all go. Let all things that are not serving you today, all planetary priorities that you've dealt with, just kind of float up in a balloon. Keep it simple. That's something you're going to learn about on this show, I hope. The spiritual side of who you are, and embracing the simplicity. But I want to give a shout out to the girls in the studio with me here. First is Christine Legott, and she is one of my co-workers at Interview as well, and she is here. She's my sidekick, my Chewy today. Get it? If anyone watches Chelsea lately, little pun there. And she is going to be taking your watching for your questions on at I Talk to Angels #2, and just send a tweet, send a question, and also on the Inner Lately page. Is that where we're at? The Inner Lately on Facebook?
Inner Lately, and I've posted the podcast, Finger Lakes One.
.tv. Yeah, that's the link to listen, to come, watch us live. So yeah, send a tweet at I Talk #2 Angels. I Talk to Angels, and Chrissy will be looking for your questions, your thoughts, and also the Inner Lately page on Facebook. So like us and join our group, and we have lots going on. And also a shout out to my girl Tiff over there, our producer. It's so exciting, and our paths have crossed in many interesting ways. When I walked into she's Lake to Lake girl as well, her and Amanda, and we had a great show, and we had a great response on YouTube.
Wonderful response.
Oh my gosh, we were
so excited.
Well, and the most have to see viewed something, my son saw it by turning it on, and we were top 3 and numbered in the top 10. Probably not saying that the right way, but anyways, it was pretty exciting for us. So the Lake to Lake girls, exciting. Are you on every Tuesday or?
Yes. For some reason this is not working. Okay. Yes, every Tuesday. Every Tuesday at 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, just before the Inner Lately show. Which you should explain where it came from. Your son was your inspiration for Inner Lately.
The show, it's so interesting, and I always talk about trusting the divine flow of things, and, the natural flow of things, and not resisting, and just trusting in the process. And by going in, that does get more natural, by the way. And so I had kind of, an idea, it was shared to me when I called here about my website, because fingerlakes1.com does do my website, which the music, many of you hear, that is the music on the website, and it's beautiful, and there's a link to his website as well for his music. And Jim had mentioned, hey, you've seen our TV stuff, and what's that, bing, bing. And it felt something, got a butterfly. And he told me about it. So I got all excited, and, I was sharing it with my son. Look, I'm going to do this. I was driving him to school, I believe. And he knows I have this passion for watching Chelsea lately. I think she's a hoot. She calls it as it is, and just makes me laugh. And laughter is healing. Remember that, everyone. We're going to have some fun on this show, and we're going to have some tears. So expect it all. And he said to me, well, I said, I threw out a couple names, and I said, well, Inner Light Teachings is my, what I kind of call my teaching programs, and that is online, innerlightteachings.com. Check it out. And I said, Inner something might be good, and he goes, Inner Lately, Mom, you're funny, and you like Chelsea. Then he said, can I be your Chewy? As soon as baseball season's over, Chris, you may have to move over to the other couch. But yeah, we'll see if he doesn't get stage fright. But yeah, that's really where it birthed, and it was so cool to have him be a part of that name, and I know he was proud of it too. So Inner Lately, and it kind of, Inner Lately, been there, going in. So tonight's theme, and each show does have a theme, and we'll have sometimes more than one, is going to be mediumship, understanding what a medium is, why should we be communicating with the spirit world, and also in the second half, I'd like to talk about relationships. So send in your questions. We want relationship questions here tonight. I want to answer some of them. Inspire you, listen to other people's questions. That also inspires you to look into your own relationship. So we will, go there at about, after the first half hour. But the first beginning right now is mediumship. And I have been a medium, what I call a mediator between two worlds, on purpose for 18 years. And my story is very personal. My mother crossed over, and I know we touched on that last week, and there is more on my website about it. But when she crossed, I was awakened in a dream and was hearing literally over a microphone that, Mrs. Ferrano was dead, and that was the word used, and that was abrupt, and I woke up shaken. And so, I went through what I had to go through in my grieving, and my sister and I both went to a medium together a year later, and this woman looked right at us and said, your mother it was like crossing a bridge, and literally she crossing a bridge on the Amtrak train, and she says, you're not using your gifts, young lady. And I looked at her like, oh no, here we go, but not what I wanted to hear really at the time. But I knew growing up. So all of that I had gone through, all that high sensitivity to people around me, kind of even more oversensitive than I really needed to be, is probably how some people would explain it, even myself, really. And we've all felt that. You listening, I know you've all felt that. That's energy. You're feeling a vibration of emotion of people around you. And that energy will speak to us. And not everybody wants to maybe communicate with the spirit world, but I think some of us applied for the job on the other side before we came in. I guess that's the way to explain it. And I feel that I'm living truly a passion and something I love to do and helping, and this is just opening another divine possibility, as I call it, for me to speak to more and reach more people. So, and here we are. So that's what a medium is. That's what we do. But we're all mediums. We all do it. We're all mediating. We all have that part of ourself that is our spirit, and we all have that part that is our personality, which I explain it as the self. And the spirit in the self, and that's kind of cool about leading into the relationship segment tonight, is the very first relationship that everybody has to nurture and understand. And that will be so helpful and change so many, maybe not change your pathway, but allow you to flow in your pathways more freely, expressing who you are truly, your creative abilities, your natural gifts, the things you want to do. And you do got to know what those are first. And honestly, being in tune, a lot of that is in your spirit. Your personality is what's going to take it from the spirit and express it and bring it down to this level. So you have to understand that relationship is so important. And that's why mediumship, I think, has, exploded over the last 10 years, or become more mainstream, probably the way I should say it. And, I remember reading George Anderson's book, and, James Van Praagh, and all those people who, helped me heal the loss of my mother and father, who crossed 3 years prior to my mother. Shout out, Dad. Love them. I know they're watching. I feel it's so natural to understand that this room, there's a lot more going on than we know. So we'll welcome any names. And I do want to have to put out a name that I am sensing. So if it isn't connected to somebody here, somebody in the audience, if you want to tweet in or Facebook Inner Lately, come on. I hear the name Dale very strong. And I always go spirit world first with names, but honestly, somebody can be calling out to a Dale that's living, but that opens it up a little bit. Let's keep it that Dale is in spirit and I feel watching over. That can be a masculine or a feminine name, so I don't really know at this point. And, you know, when we are communicating with the spirit world, and I can't speak for all mediums, obviously, but I can speak for myself, and what I do know, it is the purest intention to just help. Grief is truly one of the most challenging things you go through in life. And whether it's a loved one, a pet, you know, a friend, it honestly, the titles can go right out the window. But some are going to be more intense and more, you know, more painful than others. And as a human being, we are wired to heal grief. We're wired to heal so many things that we don't even know. And in that understanding of who we are as a spiritual and a human being, the two will begin to work together. And then you can really start expressing yourself. So, you know, it also helps you understand and answer those questions. Why? You know, why am I here? Why do you think you're here? You're here. I mean, I remember in channelings, many times Spirit would say, one week, well, it was about a week, I was getting lots of that question. Why am I here? Why am I here? I remember asking that question. And I remember the day I woke up. So I understood it when it was being asked. And finally, I heard in my head, tell them to stop asking why, and to understand who they truly are. You are here to unite the part of you that is spirit and the part of you that is personality.
I do believe we have someone who wants to call in. If we want to go over the numbers to call in right now to the show.
Sure. Chris, do you what?
Okay. I'm sorry, I don't have.
Oh, I have it right in front of me.
Yes.
It's 315-712-0104. Again, 315-712-0104. And that's our call-in number. So until that call comes through. Anyone paying attention? Did I lost my train of thought? Imagine that. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, that's what we're going to do. Let's get the calls. Let's get the tweets. I lost my train of thought when I had to give the number, so I apologize for that. Oh, I was saying, where was I? See, look at my girls aren't paying attention. Nobody. We're all doing our own jobs over here, so I'm supposed to know. But you know, oh, there's our call, and I remembered all at once. Awesome. Multitasking. We're getting our caller. Hi, caller. Welcome.
Hello.
How are you? Thanks for calling in. What's your question? Or
well, I thank you, Beth. Hello. How are you? Thanks for calling in.
Oh, honey, you might want to turn your computer on mute so that there's not the feedback.
Okay. Oh, honey, you might want to turn your computer on mute so that there's.
take a sip.
Okay.
Are you there?
So sorry.
That's okay. So, what was your
Okay.
question? Or
I have a question on how the young girls that were found today.
yes. Oh, yeah. Huh.
Okay. Yes, I heard that one of the mothers had gone to a psychic, and the psychic had said that the young girl was dead, and of course now we know she's not.
Mm-hmm.
How do you explain that type of misinterpretation?
Yeah, such a good question. And, interpretation in a reading to me is one of the most sacred, it is the most sacred part of the reading. And first I'd like to say that no one, as a medium, and this is my definition that I am comfortable understanding, we all have psychic levels. Psychic actually means connection to the soul. So we all have a connection to our soul. When you're reading energy patterns like that, what you're picking up, she might have picked up on maybe the death of how the little girl, I can't speak for her, but as on a psychic level, you're going to pick up frequencies, you're going to pick up meanings of things, and that kind of situation to me would mean the death of the situation as, ever being the same. I hope that makes sense. As a medium, you really are making the communication directly from the person or the spirit of what was once a physical personality human being, okay? So in mediumship, you really know you're connecting into that what that person wants to bring someone, to bring them comfort, bring them healing. On the psychic level, there's a lot of psychic patterns out there that you can pick up on, those frequencies that are in the energy fields around us. So again, how it was said, was it the death of the innocence of the child? You know, that's the way I would hope maybe it was felt, but interpreted a little bluntly more than it should have been. I don't know, you know. I'm not the psychic that read it. I know what it's like to pick up very psychic patterns and have someone just start talking to me that on a more psychic level that isn't even, you know, being asked by someone who's, you know, a relative. And, you know, the patterns can be very erratic, but yeah, that's a fine line. I mean, I wish I could say I knew, but she picked up on something that felt like a death. And who knows, maybe she was close to death. But I can't just defend her because I don't really know what her intentions were to give that message out. You know what I mean? And when I'm channeling, I truly feel when I have a connection from over there, I can really feel the difference than if I feel it's more something I'm picking up here. And I will say that. You know, I'm not sure if I don't feel it's this person telling me, but it's being said on their behalf. Sometimes, you know, that happens, but I make sure I interpret that. And it's a good question because it does go on, you know. You just, you know, it's not about being wrong or right. It's about really just being true to your ability and the sensitivity and the compassion that needs to be addressed in this kind of situation. Because I'm sure that maybe that mother gave up all hope of ever, you know, picking, you know, maybe reuniting with her child. And here it is how many years later? I mean, that's just mind-boggling. That I haven't watched anything more on it, so I don't know what else has gone on, but that was a good question, though. I hope it brought you some understanding. Interpretation is very sensitive. It is. And if your intention is for the highest good, I think you're comfortable as an intuitive bringing those messages to people. And you really have to be comfortable with it, and you have to keep it sacred. I think sometimes that can be an element that's missing. You know, not all people in this and giving keep it in the most divine expression of what it is. And I know that I do that. And I know there's many that do. I just, you know, hope that answers.
Yes, thank you very much.
Do you have any other questions or anyone?
What do you see in my career?
Well, I don't know what this is. To me, to see a deck of cards, well, I don't see a deck of cards. I see 4 aces. Aces are always new beginnings and new idea and new, it's all 4 aces. It's all 4 elements. So you have the Ace of Hearts, Cups, Swords, and Wands. And I might have mixed that in with a traditional deck, but it's all about it's either telling me that you are in a very new beginning and all elements that are aspects of consciousness are going to be working for you, or hang on, you have a new beginning coming, girl, because you got all aces, and that's new beginnings. Wow. Are you in something right now? Or are you wishing you were in something else? What are, you know, a little bit can open up a big doorway.
Yes, I've just recently started a new pathway on my career and wondering if that's going to be.
Well, you're doing it. Ace of Hearts, Ace of Cups, new ideas. The tarot was the first interesting way I ever got after I had gone to the medium, and she had said, you're going to choose your path. You're going to help many, but you must choose the path. And I left there going, huh? I choose that path. That's a little scary, a little intimidating. And I actually bought a book on channeling, and I couldn't even get to the 3rd page because it made me too nervous. So I said, she's wrong. That wasn't me. And but, you know, it just started. She said she'd lead me to my books and teachers. And what was so awesome was I left there and knew I was never going to be the same, and found I'm getting into the tarot. And speaking of tarot, Chris still reads the tarot, and she's amazing at it. So I highly recommend her for that. We got a lot of plugs. I got to plug enter you yet where you can be reached. And we got more questions. But anyway, the tarot and the aces are all new beginnings. And the tarot opened me up to understand. I went to this woman, Elizabeth Schumann. She mentored me for a couple of years, every Tuesday at 2. And Elizabeth, she's in Spirit World. I bet she's watching right now. And she she said to me, I bet you didn't know tarot was a spiritual tool. And I went, well, actually, I was a little nervous about maybe I was doing something I shouldn't do. I don't know. I didn't know, really. And she said, oh, no, dear, it's all in how you read it. And that's interpretation, too. She says, if you read it with the intention to help, you don't need to read anyone's future. You're reading their energy, and you will guide them to create their own. And Elizabeth taught me that with the tarot. And so I still love to teach it. I don't use my cards to read anymore, really. I get my own messages. Sometimes I'll throw them for myself. But, yeah, so the tarot, all aces, new beginnings, swords, wands is passion, hearts, your heart's in it. And you're physically manifesting it. So enjoy the ride is what I want to say, because you're doing what you're supposed to do. And, nothing ends. So it's going to lead you to something else. Anyways, each path. It's like this. I couldn't have thought of this. And then I called about my website, and they mentioned, we have this thing here, podcast. Really? What's that? I've heard about that. A lot of people doing that. What is it? I don't know, because I don't. And that was that. So I thank you for calling, and go get those aces.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Good luck on your new venture as well.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Bye. Oh, how sweet she was. So, with that, have we reached the mark for, we got another question?
I actually have some viewers that
yes,
and I have 2 questions here. I have Pam, and she says she loves listening to you, and she says that she's feeling ready for love. Where is it? Pam.
Ooh,
Relationships.
Pam. Yes. We're moving on into relationships, Pam. I think it's perfect timing. What time is it?
It's 7:54.
Get out.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't start till 7:30.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm thinking hour. All right, good. Because I was going to say, we better hurry up. Yeah, well, Pam, where is it? Just then, when you posed that question, you took the law of attraction and said, moved it away a little bit. Let's not pose it as a question. Let's put out the mantra, I am ready to express myself in a relationship that allows me to express my light and my heart. Now, is anybody going to write that down for her? we gotta maybe simplify that.
Yeah.
When you don't ask, when you know that you are ready, and you put out your intention that you are ready to express and create in a relationship that allows you to express and create your light, that simplified it. Then it's going to start coming. You're energizing that it isn't there. And the law of attraction, which is going to be a big topic here, is what's creating it in your life. Every day I wake up and say all divine possibilities and divine opportunities to create and express my light. Every day. I've said it for years. And I don't think it has never stopped working. And just when you think, you're coasting a little, something else can come. And your free will is the thing that will direct you to that or not, or is it time or not. So it's fine, but one thing is important. Open to the love for yourself first. Remember that relationship we were talking about? The one that you have with your spirit and yourself? Nurture that one first. If you go to my website, innerlightteaching.com, there's a meditation corner. There's also a spiritual RX, a spiritual prescription for daily devotion. You must devote to the first and most important relationship that you are existing in, and that's the one you have with yourself. Once you do that daily, and I'm talking just a few days of devotion to who you are, it takes about 2 minutes, 20 minutes. Energy doesn't know time or space, so your 2 minutes will add up. You'll start to feel, then you're going to draw to you someone who honors their spirit and their self too.
She says, I know I'm ready.
Go, girl. But now, you don't want to just attract someone else who's ready. You know what I'm talking about? You want to attract someone who honors their own light, their own creativity, their own journey. Because then you will. You have to do it first. It's not going to be, get that person and then you'll do it. No. Then you're going to put the weight of your happiness in their responsibility corner, and they shouldn't be responsible for that, nor you should be responsible for anyone else's happiness. And I got a feeling that's something you've done in the past. You've wanted to make them happy, and you put yourself on the back burner. So all you drew were those ones that would, suck the light out of you, if you will. No one can suck the light out of you unless you give them permission. Remember that.
She says that she has mended the relationship with herself with your meditations.
Oh, I like her. So I know you.
Yes.
I guess I'm psychic and should know
Yes.
that, but I didn't. Well, thank you, Pam, and keep it going, because you know what? You're ready. And now if you put out that intention with not where is it, but here it is, I am walking in the divine expression of love and light. Come on, hang on. You know, we can't be afraid of those words. Some people say, oh, divineness. Look, I have T-shirts that say it's all about the divine in me, because it is about the divine in you. When you recognize your divinity, you're recognizing your highest sacred space to express yourself spiritually and humanly. This isn't one or the other. Got to watch those Italian hands, you know, they start moving. You have to honor yourself in that way each day. You know, it doesn't mean you're not going to have sad moments, you know, angry moments. But you know what you don't do when you really honor that first relationship is worry. Somebody said that to me the other day. Something about, well, don't you worry? Well, it wasn't the other day. This was quite a few months ago, because I was talking about worrying. And that's repetitive thoughts with low frequency vibration around them. And, you know, when you worry, then what happens with that law of attraction? Well, that's what you're creating, and that's going to be your reality. So you have to remember that you want to honor the law. Break the law down into this. Thought plus feeling equals physical manifestation and the condition of the relationships you're in. So do that each day and watch it change. You'll draw people to you. People will shift that you are in relation. You give your relationship you're in the best chance you have if you do this. And that's something. Remember, if you want to call in with your questions, our number is 315-712-0104 or 0104, I should say. Someone corrected me on that the other day. Don't say say 0.
And Pam said that she is walking in the divine expression of love and light. Thank you, Beth.
You go, Pam.
I have another question from Jiller. Are you ready?
Hi, Jiller.
Yes. Jiller says, Beth, any messages from my mom?
Oh, and I felt the name Mary when she, so I don't know if her mom is Mary, but that name came in right away. And she's showing me a band, like a wedding band, and I don't know if you have your mother's wedding band or if there's questions about your own marriage or something, wedding going on, but I hear the message is to be true to yourself. And to be true to yourself, you have to love yourself more. And she shows me that when you look in a mirror, you're sticking your tongue out. Now this is, I love this because this is a metaphor, and a metaphor is how the spirit world will talk. And the spirit world, when it talks, gives a lot of symbolisms and metaphors to get a message out. You don't need to know someone's details.
She says yes it is, and yes she does.
Looks
Jiller,
in the mirror and
this
sticks
is
her
from
tongue
Jill.
out? All right.
This is from
Well,
Jill.
Jill, we're all going to send light to you, and I want you, you know, to look in that mirror tonight and look at yourself and just say,
Mary
I
is her
love
mom.
you.
You're right.
Mary is her mom.
Mary is her mom.
And I feel that, you know, when you really, even that last question that we addressed about loving who you are and honoring your light, she says, I see your halo is tipped sideways. And all you got to do is start wearing that halo. So I don't know if you meditate every day, and anyone who's going to watch this show is going to know that meditation, and anyone who's been to me for a reading, is a very important part. Meditation comes in many ways. It's mediation between who you are spiritually and humanly. Nature, breathing. Shut your mind. No, I'm going to correct myself because I tell people, you'll never stop thinking. You slow your thoughts down. That's, if you stop thinking and feeling, you're a chair, you're a couch, you're a floor mat. You can't stop thinking and feeling. You're a spiritual and a human being. You think and you feel. That is what you do. That creates the frequency around you, that energy field. There's so much going on in there. You know, I hope that this show is about teaching you to understand the inner, because the inner is fueling the outer. Period. You bend the law you want. You're not breaking it. So that's the bottom line. Remember, callers, 315-712-0104. And we would love to have questions, calls, whatever. But I do feel that your father is around you too, Jiller. I hope you're still listening. And that he He says thank you and holds your hand. And he says that you haven't disappointed him and you need to stop thinking you have. That he loves you with all of his heart, and he said cheers. So maybe he liked his cocktails. I don't know. One or two. Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're watching online,
and yeah, we're getting some calls, so it's kind of exciting. Everyone just take a deep breath for a moment. You know I'm chatting on. We got our caller ready, but take a nice deep breath. We're going to do that throughout. Hi, caller.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thanks for calling in or lately. How can I help you?
Yes, I'm calling because my family had a recent loss lately.
Mm-hmm.
Calling to see if Beth has any messages for us.
Okay. I'll have to tell you, there are 2 titles coming in, and I don't know if the one you want is the one that I'm getting first, so just bear with me in that spirit world. But there is a dog that I see around you, and it feels like it's like a mid-sized dog. It could be whether it's a lab or something retriever type style dog looking. They look the same to me in my head right now, but there's that kind of dog I sense around. But I'm also getting the letter Jim. Oh, the name Jim. Ooh, that was kind of interesting. Is there a Jim or James in the spirit world first that would be around? And it doesn't have to be the one you're looking for, so bear with us for a second.
Okay.
Is there a Jimmy or James? Jim?
I know of a James.
And he crossed over?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's stepping in first and saying hello, and this is very common because a lot of times the ones you're more emotionally connected to are standing right there, but that emotion is creating a little bit of what I call that misty fog, and so just hang on. And I do feel that there is a woman who takes your hand and wants to say, now I don't know if she's mother or grandmother, but there is a woman, very strong, grand. I hear grand, so I feel like I am getting a grandmother.
Okay.
All right, and the name Alice flew in to the room as well. Now that doesn't have, do you have an Alice?
Not an Alice, there's an Alex.
Oh, Alex?
But that's not necessarily somebody who's in the spiritual world.
All right, he's living?
Yeah.
All right, is he one of the people that are with you right now or curious about this other thing? Because they do call out your names too sometimes, especially if I don't know them.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what's happening. Thank you. And that's a pretty close Alex, you know what I mean? We're talking dimensions here. With names, I like them to match, be very close. Like I had Sponsor once for Spencer. And, you know, I had a guy show me a bottle of Jack Daniels once. And I said, oh, did he like Jack Daniels? And they said, no, that was his name. I said, no kidding. That was his name. What a way to get me to say his name. But I do hear the someone is also, and I don't know if this is still the grandmother energy, but showing me the rose bushes, or the person that you were really asking for. The rose bushes seem very important, and please know that they're here and they're around you. And you may have pictures out right now that you're looking at, or near you, or you could look at, because I feel that as well.
Yeah, I mean, not particularly of that person, but I'm surrounded by pictures of my house, family members.
All right, and they are all connected to that, so I would think, right? They're a family. Is it a family member? And I heard the name Joe come in. Joseph. Joe? Is there a Joseph in spirit?
Joe. That I'm not sure of.
All right. Show Joey, I hear. So the name may go as Joey. Now, is there someone living this person might acknowledge by the name of Joey?
Joey.
You shouldn't have to think too much. Maybe it's that quick feeling I tell people. But sometimes you got your friend's dad coming in. You're not sitting here asking about him, and you don't really care that he came in. But he would, you know, I do get that a lot, and that's...
Yeah.
But, you know, don't worry if you don't recognize it. Just kind of, you know... I know last week Amanda ended up emailing after the show saying, oh, I knew who Bill was, or something. I think it was Bill. And so I said, oh, good, I'm so glad you did, because she wasn't connecting on the show. And, yeah, but I'm here, dear. I'm here. Yeah, it's a very maternal feel around you. So whether your mother or grandmother, I mean, I'm getting that all around you really strong.
Yeah, I have a grandmother, and I recently lost my mother-in-law.
All right, there's the mother energy. So that's her showing you she's with you. She's right in the room with you. She's not here with me. She's with you. And she's giving you a kiss on the cheek, and she knows you did everything you could. All right? So,
and just really quick, because the family's got a lot of, you know, my daughter's having a hard time. Any messages for my daughter?
Yep. She shows her. Does your daughter have really beautiful hair?
Yeah.
All right, because I feel like she admires her hair, and she did. And again, always like kind of doing this little pony, like pull it back, kind of she's always like doing that to it and like movement with the hands in the hair, but she does want to show that, and she loves dearly. You know, one of the things I've been told by the spirit world over and over is the greatest gift you're going to give yourself and your children is the understanding of eternal life. And she needs to really truly know her grandma is with her, grandmother, and start a little journal where you write to them at the end of the day. Maybe this someone in spirit showed me this for someone. My God, when I was first starting, start a little notebook and journal and just tell her about your day. And then at the end, when you write, just say, "Thank you for listening. I know you love me." And she's saying something about the pearl, and I don't know if that's her name or if I'm getting the jewelry, but the pearl.
Okay. I'll have to look at that. I mean, we have pearls.
From her?
So there's one particular sign that she keeps hoping that, you know, her grandmother will send her.
Okay, give a second and keep listening, because even sometimes once we hang up, and you don't have to hang up, but you know, we will get it when it's not like now I want it, you know, and sometimes they just throw it out. I don't know why I'm seeing a box of Cracker Jacks, but I am.
Cracker Jacks? Okay.
Yeah. Did she like Cracker Jacks, or does like today I was reading someone and the black licorice came in, and their grandmother always had black licorice in a jar or something. You know, I mean, it's the silly stuff that really makes that emotional impact.
Yeah.
So tell her not to be afraid and that she is going to be okay. And does your daughter have something going on with her knee?
Her knee.
Or why would she show me her knee? Is she active, your daughter? Like,
she's very active.
Like a sports kind of active?
Yeah, she's very musically.
She likes her music?
Active.
All right, I just felt something about the knee, and I don't know what it is. I honestly feel like I'm seeing shaving legs. So I don't know if she's, you know, nicked herself shaving her leg, or she just started shaving her legs, or if there's some funny story about shaving her legs, but that is what I saw. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And remember, they hear you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling in. I think we have another call. So exciting. Everybody's calling in. 712-0104. 315. Hi, caller. Welcome. Are you there?
Yeah.
Hi, how can I help you?
Hello.
Hi, it's Beth Lynch. How can I help you?
Just wondering, actually, I'm going to have a problem with my computer like the other one, did I?
It's okay. If you get your question in, then you can...
Basically, I'm going through an awful lot right now. I did just lose my mother.
Mother,
and
yeah. Mother. A lot of mother energy in the room, okay? What I do feel, and you don't even have to say any more, but you're welcome to share more if you want after, is that I felt like your mother was either your rock or your sense of security, because I saw a symbol of a tower crashing down around you, and the tower represents the security that we build up around ourselves, or anything we put a lot of security in. And of course anyone would have, and hopefully be able to have, a sense of security in the relationship they have with a mother and father. But the sense I get is you feel like that's, like you can't get your footing. You haven't gotten your footing. Was this recent?
yes.
Yeah. And I don't know if her name is Anne, but I'm getting the name Anne around me, or Anna. Is that in her name, or connected to someone who might be standing next to her up there? Or your name?
No, I don't think so.
Anna, Annie, Anna. I also hear Helen.
Auntie.
Getting some different names. Helen in the room. What did you just say?
Well, my aunt, she always called her, and my mom always called her Auntie.
Oh, she called your aunt Auntie. That was her nickname. Now is Auntie in spirit? Is Auntie in spirit as well?
Yes.
All right, so you're getting them. This is their way that they're going to show you. Look, we're here. Who liked their coffee? Like a lot.
It might be me then.
Well, my mom did.
Oh, nope, it's Mom. She's showing you the simple things to show you she's with you, okay? The name Margaret did come in as well. So I need to give you the name Margaret. Is there anyone in spirit that can resonate to?
No.
All right. Did she have a friend, Margaret or Peggy, that is still living, maybe?
No, not
Because
that
I feel like
aware
I'm
of.
hearing my friend, like that simple. I don't know what else. Margaret can be Meg or Maggie, too. So sometimes the way a name's said makes a very big difference. Let me just... The clock. Did she have a clock she used to wind all the time? Or you got to wind it, you got to wind it? Or is there something you got in front of you, winding? Showing me that.
She had a cuckoo clock in her room, or in her house.
All right, there's the clock. I mean, I do feel the winding, and I don't know how that resonates to a cuckoo clock, but she says she wants to grab your face. I mean, this is how strong this woman is. Like, please, I love you. You know, did she used to do that, or did you used to hold her cheeks or something? That's truly a gesture that, you know, they don't just send for no reason. But is that something with her, or is there some?
Well, I don't know.
Well, you'd know if she kind of would hold your face, if she was a toucher like that. It's like she, you know, if you're watching me on, are you watching or are you just listening? Yeah, it's like holding your face, telling you, I love you, like cheeks, you know. And what's she saying? The brown, something brown. I don't know what's brown. I don't know what the color, you know, brown, something brown. I don't know. Just the word brown came in. Sometimes it's a name, so I don't know. But you're not alone, she says. You're not alone. Please don't live as you're alone. Please don't shelter yourself. Okay? So maybe you withdrew a little bit since she's passed?
Probably, yes.
Yeah. You know, mothers are a powerful force in our, and whether they're in our life, they're, meaning, you know, some people don't have healthy relationships with their parents. That's, you know, it's more common than not in my line of work, if you call it work. I can't really call it work, but it is what I do for work. But, you know, so I do feel that void, she's showing me pink roses. Now, I don't know if she loved her pink roses or what, but I am seeing them. And she wants you to smell those roses. Okay?
Okay.
That's so important. And the name Marie came in. The name Marie. Any Marie or Mary? I wouldn't, Mary, another Mary maybe? Mary or Marie? Maria?
It starts with an M.
Does it? Okay. And that's her name? Yeah. She's saying something about her coat. Do you have her coat, or you wear her coat?
That's her coat.
Huh? Excuse me, what'd you say? I'm sorry. What'd you say about the coats?
I do have.
Yeah, that she's telling you these simple little things, you know, to show you it's me, honey. I'm here. I love you. You have to start embracing that. My website, again, and my website is designed to bring them to a place of healing grief, healing fear. We're, you know, healing. Healing is raising the vibration of the emotions and the frequency of the thoughts that you're having, and that's what we do when we grieve, when we express creatively, and everything in between. Okay, so that's very important. So please go to the website and read Spirit Speaks.
I've been to your website. I've been to see you.
Oh, okay.
I have. I mean, you were getting involved into relationships and stuff, and I know I'm having an issue with that. Mm-hmm. And my mother was the one that kind of held things together, even somebody to talk to about my relationship.
Yeah, she was your sense of security. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Oh, she died very, very suddenly. Mm-hmm. Was not expected. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's probably why I feel so lost.
Right. Yeah, you know, there's something to be said about the opportunity to say goodbye to people and then watching them suffer or letting it be.
Well, we were actually there when she passed.
Well, that's nice that you got to have that.
I don't know if she knew she was dying at the time.
Well, the feeling I got is nobody really wants to know it or really believe it sometimes. You're kind of in a shock, I guess. I guess that's what I felt, like there was this shock, but it's not a bad shock. And that's her words. It's not a bad, you're like, really? I gotta go, you know? And her father is over there, yes? Your grandfather? Because I feel like father energy helped her cross. And we usually have a lot of assistants over there. It's not just one, but sometimes there's someone who stands out to kind of say, come on, and then you walk into what they show me as in some cases, the party or the celebration. Did she like to dance?
Yes.
Yeah, the feeling was walking in and the dance began. The dance began. So know she's dancing there, okay? And honor your relationship with yourself first before you put out so much energy in the other relationship. That's going to start to change things immediately. But you have to do it every day. Consistency. Okay?
How do you start something like that?
Huh? What was that?
I said, how do you start something like that?
If you go to my website, it can take you step by step. I'll tell you. It's got the Spiritual RX. You can read the, under the meditation corner, the self-love meditation once a day. Start there, because there's room for that.
I will do that.
Please do that, the self-love meditation. And there's meditations to listen to on there, too. Just sit back.
Yeah, okay. I will.
All right. Thank you. We have another call? Yes. Wow. Are we all learning about relationships? Well, the mediumship kind of started toward the this part of the show, but we're mixing it up. But, you know, the main thing, is, you know, as we wait for our caller, what this is about is, you know, how do you want to change what's happening around you? Do you want to understand why things the way they are? And really the way you're going to do that is by tuning into who you are as a spiritual being. Spirit meaning, you know, take the word spirit and change it, add the word reality, spirituality, spiritual reality. It is the reality who you are. These words are not new words. Okay? These words, we can't be afraid of that word spirituality. And, you know, the power of a spirit, you know, Google spirit. Let's see what we get with that word. I want to see what comes up. I haven't done that. Google spirit. See what definition we get for that. Again, I want to give a little shout out to my center, Inner You, where I am a partner with two other wonderful spiritual human beings, Megan and Bernadette. Megan is acupuncture, and Marshall, you can call in again. I think we lost your call, so call in and we'll get to you. And Inner You. Again, I'm partners with Megan Weston and Bernadette Murphy, and Megan is the skincare specialist, and also she is our certified Inner Light practitioner, as well as Christine is certified under Inner Light teachings. Bernadette is the acupuncturist, and I believe she does craniosacral too, and massage therapist. And we're all under the same roof, which is called Inner You Wellness at 590 Preemption Road in Geneva. We have a lot going on there. Go over to that website, inneryou444.com. And Sunday, June 9th, we are having our 1-year anniversary party. And if you mention that you heard about it on Inner Lately, you're going to get 15% off on a service, on their selected services. So please stop in June 9th, Sunday, from 1 to 4 at our celebration, and it's our day of gratitude. We are so grateful for all the support and love that has been shown to the center. And healing begins within, and that's the theme of Inner You. And again, it's inneryou444.com to see all the services and all the things we offer in the monthly classes and meditations. And there's so much. Sanctuary, which is a night of healing and meditation, no charge. Okay. Oh, we have our caller back.
And actually, I Googled spirit.
Oh, we Googled spirit.
Yes. And the noun meaning is the non-physical part of a person that is the seat of emotions and character, the soul.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Inner, that's the inner part of who we are. Look at that.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Emotions, people, don't be afraid to feel. Okay? And the thing is, we avoid feeling those hard things. So I know Marshall's been waiting patiently. Hi, Marshall.
It's Marshall.
It's
Oh,
Marshall.
hi, Marshall. I'm sorry, Marshall. Beautiful name. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Do you have a question?
Well, you were speaking earlier about Margaret and Anne.
Yes.
Did those names get claimed? I think they might be for me.
Well, I don't think they did get claimed because I don't think the person I was talking to recognized them. I think the closest we got was there was an M in her mom's name. So you have a Margaret and an Ann that are together in spirit?
Yes.
Well, that's a shout out to you, I would say, from the spirit world. I think I'm so glad you called back and let us know, Marshall. I also feel the name Elizabeth around you. Is there an Elizabeth around you?
Yes, there is an Elizabeth around me.
She puts a lot of love your way, and she's sorry for there was a part of time that there wasn't either not getting along or there was silence, and she's so sorry for that because she loves you, and it's your grandmother, dear.
Yes.
It's your grandmother. She loves you very much, and I'm sad to say that I feel your father is in the spirit world as well. And
Yes.
and he loves you more than anything. And baby girl, he's proud of you. You're living what you need to do right now. And he showed me the 4 aces. So
yes.
That's you. You're the 4 aces girl?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would call it.
All right. He's with you on this journey. All right?
You.
And Margaret
Oh.
and everybody's with you. And just keep smiling, because it's your smile that they totally love to see.
Thank you.
All right, Marshall. Thanks so much for calling in and being a listener.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So where are we at? Are we about 8 o'clock? Oh, we got about 7 minutes. Well, go ahead. We got
well,
another.
I do have one more person that
let's
posted a
take it.
question.
Mhm.
This is Jen, and she wants to know if you see her graduating in the future.
It's so funny because I felt like a safety pin went on her. Like if you had a safety pin and you had to put a safety pin. So I don't know what that means, but the safety pin. And you have 2 women in the spirit world that are very proud, and they're giggling and they're safety pinning you. So whatever that means. Hopefully it's symbolic of pinning. There could be nursing.
Nursing exactly.
Pins. Nurses pins.
That's exactly what she's going to school for.
Okay. Well, thank
it.
you there, Miss Jen.
Yes.
And I heard the name Bubba, too. So I don't know if that's connected to you, Jen, or another listener, Bubba. I think that's pretty distinct. I want to, not a everyday name that you hear. I want to give a shout out to a few very important people in my world, my family, my husband, my son, for my crazy hours and supporting me all along. My parents, my mom and dad in spirit. My dad, who told me many years ago, follow your dreams, and I've never stopped. And I know he's looking down and very proud. I just know it. And you got to let those feelings in, and you got to know that they're watching over you. I want Chris to speak a little. There's so much I want to get in. But again, go over to my website, innerlightteaching.com. Start your journey. Wake up with the meditation in the morning. Close with the meditation. You can't mediate between who you are as a spiritual and a human being too much. So, but Chris, I want you to talk. Chris is going to be here in the studio with us next week doing her Mehndi and art. And she's going to be doing a mother-daughter bonding. And Chris is available to be reached at Interview as well, and that's 315-759-5468 for her own private sessions, group sessions, as well as I am available there. And there's so much to cover, but the website has a lot of information. And Chris, I want her to go into her little understanding of what she's going to do next week.
Yes, well, it is art and meditation, and I created, it's a mother and daughter, or for best friends, and it's kind of like the best friend charms, where one person has the best and the other one has the friend, and but I have them put their hands together, and I create a henna Mehndi design on their hands, and when they put it together, it creates one unity of a design. And it's a great bonding experience for the mother and daughter, as well as the best friends. And it's a very relaxing experience. So, and we do meditate as we're receiving the Mehndi design, and so it is a form of meditation. So, and I do call it Mehndi and meditation. And Mehndi is the art used with painting designs with a henna powder. So it's pretty neat. And I will be demonstrating that on 2 models next week.
Yeah, mother and daughter who are very special, and I know we both know them. So, yeah, tune in. You'll actually be able to see Chrissy do her thing. And maybe explain what energy she's feeling with that. And again, your questions will be welcomed next week, so please send them along. Creative expression. I have a lot of really exciting guests coming up. Do I have time to put a shout out to some of our guests? Okay, good. Coming up, May 21st is Christine with her Mehndi. June 4th, Jake Ducey, an inspiring, and I'm not kidding you when I say infectious, he's infectious, his smile, his energy. He wrote a book called Into the Wind of his journeys. This man is 21 years old, and he writes and expresses as a soul of just many lives, many times probably. And just, go to his website. I can't do it justice right now, but he will be calling in and being a guest on June 4th. Inspirational for young people who feel maybe lost, deal with, where am I, who am I, why am I here, all the questions I like to answer no matter how old we are. So jakeducey.com, check him out. June 18th, bullying is our theme. And I have a young girl who wrote, Kate McHugh, who wrote Ugly, Story of a Bullied Girl. And I may have one other guest too as well. And she is so inspiring. She wrote about her story. She as well, KateMcHugh.com. And you can follow her on Twitter as well. These are people who are inspiring. So if you have a story or a cause, hey, we want to give a shout out to your events and stuff, get a tweet in, or Lately probably is the best way, because tweets you can miss if they're moving along, right?
Yes,
what do you got?
I just want to chime in that Jen said that, yes, her pinning is next Friday. So,
well,
she's
Jen,
going
God
to be
bless.
a nurse. And she says she calls her dog Bubba.
Bubba.
So
well, at least we know who Bubba is.
Little validation there.
So some really great guests, and I have even more. I have an astrologer on July, let me see where my notes, July 16th. astrojohn.com. Check him out and call in that night. Now, mark your calendars, July 16th, and he'll be taking calls, and who knows. And August 6th, I have Ryan Hamburg from Amazing Grace Tattoo and a special guest with him. We're going to be talking expression, inspiration, and healing with tattooing, memorial art, and he won't be doing any tattooing, but he will be talking about how he has seen it inspire and help people heal. Whether it's a word of strength or peace, and maybe even my tats will be coming out that night. And inspiration. We're all inked women in this room. It is. It's inspiring. And unless you have one, you really don't probably understand it. But it's creative expression, and that's who we are. As a spiritual and a human being, that's who we are. And I just, really am so grateful to have Inner Lately, call in, join in, share it, mention it. Let's answer your questions. We're here for you, and it begins by going within to allow yourself. So everybody, just take a nice deep breath and place your hand on your heart, smile, peace.